Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Ish, and welcome to the Relentless Project, where we dive deep into the stories of those who push boundaries and break limits. I just want to take a second to shout out a few companies who've believed in me. These were one of our first official sponsors, so huge shout out. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Carbo Jewelers, established in 1997 on the values of honesty and integrity. Whether you're searching for the perfect piece, need expert repair services, visit Carbo Jewelers in Newark's Ironbound District, where your jewelry is always in safe hands. This episode is also brought to you by Continental Jewelers, proudly serving Hudson County, New Jersey since 1964. Whether you're seeking a timeless piece or need expert repairs, they've got you covered. Visit Continental Jewelers, your trusted source for all things jewelry. You can find them on Instagram at Carbo Jewelers or online at carbojewelers.com. Lastly, big shout out to Carbo Trading. Besides coins, precious metals, and jewelry, if it could be traded and collected, he's probably got it. They can be found on Instagram at carbo.trading. You can find all of our sponsors out online on our sponsor page at therelentlessproject.com. Now let's get started with this week's episode.
Determination. I turned that word into determination. I'm like, this dude's here to do damage to me. I'm going to do damage to him first.
You are now tuning in to the Relentless Project. Real people, real stories, real life.
All right, we just gonna get into it. What's up, everyone? I'm Ish with the Relentless Project. I'm here with Jeremiah Butler. He's out at 10th Planet. Drove an hour to come on a show.
Hour and a half.
Oh, he kept it minimal. He said about an hour out. Like I said, he's affiliated with 10th Planet. Very active grappler. You just got done with a competition.
Yeah.
What did they call that?
It's called like the Made Men
promotion.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was outside.
Yeah. Brutal.
How was it? It was like 85 degrees or something.
It was 91 degrees outside, and then like I seen like it was a couple of competitors that fought before me were going shirtless. I'm like, you a brave one. You brave for going out there with no shirt, and then like they soon as the match over. Scratches, mat burn. I'm like, nah, y'all got that. I ain't.
Come close to the mic so people can hear you.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, you usually compete shirtless, no?
Use indoors.
Yeah.
Indoors, and when it's a lot cooler, like I compete shirtless just to like get that animal mentality. Like I gotta like take my shirt off. Like I try to like get in that mode, and like if I'm feeling like unconfident in myself, that's when I wear a rash guard. Or like if it's hot outside, like we're outside competing like that, I'm definitely wearing a shirt.
I was looking at some of the videos and it was just like you're on the ground, the sun's in your face. It just adds a whole different element. Like,
man,
you said you got burned on the cage.
I got burnt like scrap, like my knees, back. Man, like if I wasn't wearing a rash guard, I look like I got beat up.
You weren't wearing a long sleeve rash guard, were you? That was through the rash guard?
This was my first match when I wore like a short sleeve rash guard. That's when I had to transition to a long sleeve because like this was gonna be bothering me all match. So I said I ain't dealing with that.
How do you like grappling in a cage versus like an open mat?
I mean, I like the cage because you can't like just like CJI, like you can't run, like you can't stall, there's nowhere to run.
Yeah, I just went to that event, dude. It was wild.
Oh, you was there?
Yeah.
Oh man,
dude, it was crazy. It was probably one of the best grappling events I've ever been to.
Man, I remember at Buffalo Wild Wings watching that. I'm like, dang, like I think one of my favorite matches. It gotta be like the Cade Rotolo match. No, the Cade Rotolo and what's his name? Tackett. Man, that was savages. Like
I've seen a lot of awesome matches, and I don't want to offend anyone, but that was probably one of the best grappling matches I've ever seen. Dude, they were going at it nonstop, and just like streaming don't do a service. Like being there, feeling the energy, and just the crowd erupting. It was wild,
man. Cause like I remember cause I knew like watching Kay and Andrew Tackett. I remember like watching them compete before like they're both like reckless and like they're like savages. And watching that match, I'm like, dang, Like,
Dude, it was wild because that match happens, right? I believe that was the quarterfinals.
yeah.
And then the finals match happens, and dude's like just sitting down. And
I hated that match because I believe I should have won that match. In my opinion,
you think so?
I think so.
Okay, we're gonna talk before we get into that. You know what a challenge coin is?
Nah.
So challenge coin is something that originated in the military. Usually, it's believed to have started like in ancient Rome, and it's like a tradition where soldiers were given like bonus coins to kind of show like, they're a part of a group, a legion, or like they were given valor. And instead of spending these coins, they would keep it. And the military kind of incorporated that. And like if you're a part of a unit or something, you get a challenge coin. So I actually just launched my own, and you're the first guest to receive it, bro.
Oh,
so,
for real?
For real.
I can point to the camera.
Yeah, this one's gonna be yours or this one. But
Yes, sir.
if you've been on my show before, they just came in, so you're getting yours. But it's something I want to do because it's something that can't be bought. You know, like I just launched a merch store, so you can buy shirts, hats, all that. But these coins are something you can't buy, something you have to earn. And I believe you've earned it based off of just who you are as a person. You know, you're young, you got your head on right, very mature for your age. And you just get after it, man. Like, I don't think, win or lose, I've ever heard you make an excuse or you're always getting after. So you're the first recipient of the Relentless Project coin, bro. Of course. It. All right, so let's get back to the mix. Do you think Levi should have won?
Man,
why?
Like, in my opinion, I'm a
hobbyist, so I'm speaking off of just pure view.
Because like I kind of relate to Levi because I'm mostly a dominant guard puller. Like, it's rare to see me wrestle, rare. And like, I felt like his guard, like Cade didn't pass his guard once. Like, he had part one of the most amazing guard retentions I've ever seen.
Dude, Levi's guard was insane. That
nobody passed it. Nobody passed it.
I think the argument that people made was, CJI Craig launched this event, right? To kind of and he he pulled from different rule sets. He had the angled walls that he got from Karate Combat, and the gist of the event was to like push grappling, not just jiu-jitsu, but grappling as a whole to the next level. And one of the things that I've heard people complain about is the stalling, the running, so he wanted to just create constant action. And I think what messed Levi up was he was playing it safe to the point where the judges actually, and another thing I liked about the Craig Jones event is the active scoring between rounds. Like, you got to see where you're at.
Oh,
I think that's so important.
I think they messed it up. Like, one of the times they messed it up between, I think it was the second round or the third round. They messed something up.
So what I think they did was they punished Levi. That's what I think the judges were doing to say, like, hey, bro, you won the first round. We get it. But start doing something. I think that's what happened. Because Levi, all the judges scored 10. And then come the second round, it was like 10-9, Cade. Yeah. And then the third round, it was kind of like hey, that should have been your wake-up call, and he didn't. So I think the judges were more like, hey, we want to see action, we want to see go. And that's a big argument in jiu-jitsu, right? Guard pulling.
Yeah.
We had, obviously, with Stout, but Christian Schaefer.
Yeah, I know.
Phenomenal grappler. He would pull guard, and then you're fucked. Like, dude, his guard was amazing.
I watched his matches. That dude's insane. Christian Schaefer, because he beat my my foster brother a long time ago in a tournament at the Arnold. And that was, man, like that dude. He's at, like, I will tell you how old is he? He's like 19, 20.
I believe he's 19. Yeah.
That dude's insane. I'm like, dang, because I remember going to Stout like a long time ago. I think it was like a year ago, because I was getting ready for a Lou Armazzani fight the same night. I think it was like one of his super fights he hosts at his gym. And
he has a lot of those.
Man, I remember rolling against that dude. Like, his leg locks are insane. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and one of his videos went viral online. I don't know where he was at a big tournament, and they both like
the Murdoch, bro. It was CJ Murdoch versus, I think it was CJ or Joshua Murdoch versus Christian Schaefer. I watched that match, not live, but like it was like a highlight reel, and like I seen so many comments talking about like, that's weird. Like, why can't they both stand up and stuff like that? That's jiu-jitsu.
It's
right
jiu-jitsu,
there.
and that's the argument. It's like, if you want to win, you're gonna do what you do to win.
Yeah.
And like, for example, when there's $1 million on the line.
$1 million.
I don't give a fuck what you think about my jiu-jitsu. I'm going to do what I need to do to win.
For real.
And that was, I feel like Levi's headspace of like, dude, I don't care what you guys think. Excitement or not, I'm trying to win $1 million. And Cade was more like in your face with it, like, I'm gonna win $1 million, but I'm gonna also provide a show. So the argument is to be made of who won that. I think it was close. Like if you're looking jiu-jitsu, you didn't pass his guard.
Yeah.
You know, he has a phenomenal guard. If you're looking at like overall, because like he was very close, which that doesn't give you points, but
Yeah.
so it's a sour subject. It's a sour subject. My last episode was about the CJI event, and like nobody commented on it, but everyone inboxed me like, bro, what about this? What about? I'm like, bro,
Put in the comments.
Yeah, put in the comments. Let's have a conversation. I'm all about talking, bro. Like I have opinion. I opened it with like, this is my opinion. You know, like I think it was one of the best jiu-jitsu / grappling events ever. It was a mixture of like WWE. You ever watch WWE?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like entertainment. They got flashing lights. Craig came out with 2 suitcases, each holding $1 million.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that was sick.
it was a mixture of that. It was a mixture of, the famous ADCC. They pushed jiu-jitsu to another level. No one can knock that. I think it divided a line of like, oh, I'm ADCC, I'm CJI. At the end of the day, this event pushed grappling to another level.
I didn't even watch. I barely even watched ADCC.
I don't think I've ever watched it. We went originally, me and my boy went to watch ADCC. We bought tickets, we bought, airfare, all that, and then Craig came out with this. We're like, dude, what are we about to do?
I think the only match that like I actually like had to resubscribe to Flow Grappling to watch was the Marigali versus Pixley. I kid you not, I opened my phone, the first thing I see is Marigali getting darsed. I'm like, what? Like for real? I'm like, Bob. I mean, I'm not trying to like discredit Pixley. Like he's a good grappler, but I'm just saying, I'm like as good as Marigali is, like getting sub like that.
Dude, I was with my homie in Vegas, and he's like, he'll tell you, he goes for the darce immediately. Like that's his go-to for everything. And I told him, I was like, dude, I can't be darsed. I'm so compact and like tight, and my neck is non-existent, and my shoulders are so big. I told him, like, dude, I don't think I could be darsed. Like I've never been darsed. I can darce you. Bro, we're in a hotel room. He's like cranking darces on me, and I just have my hand on his back. And he's like, boom. He's like, what about now? I'm like, I mean, it sucks.
Yeah,
but like,
it's like a crank.
Yeah, I could fight through it. And he's like, going. So like, till this day, I feel like I can't be Darce. We're gonna have to try that out. You're a little longer, so.
I suck at Darces.
Dude, I didn't even know how to put one in. He told me how to put one in. I'm like, oh shit, I don't even think I could put one in because my arms are so short. Like, unless it's a real small dude, like I don't think I could put one in. Tell us a little bit about what made you. I mean, you're young. You're a young lad, right? Like I didn't get into jiu-jitsu till I was, 27, 28?
Yeah.
A little late start. What got you into jiu-jitsu?
Dang, that's a long story.
Hey, we got time, bro.
It all started 2020 on Halloween at a football game. We like my team. I played for the Faro Steelers. Like we were one of the best high school teams in the state basically, and we won.
Where's that out of?
It's like an hour and a half north.
Okay.
And it's like on the border between Ohio and Pennsylvania. Like we're like right on that border.
Where are you from? Are you're not a Pittsburgh guy, are you?
Oh no, I'm not.
You always competing in Pittsburgh.
Oh no, I'm not a Pittsburgh guy.
Dude, that's crazy. every event in Pittsburgh, I feel like you're at.
Yeah, I'm there. Like, I mean, I'm mostly cross training Pittsburgh because that's where all like the comp and like all the good people would be at. It's Pittsburgh, so like I'm gonna go over to where everybody's good at.
Dude, that speaks a lot about like how serious you take this. Like,
Oh yeah.
There's people who, they like I'm a hobbyist. I've been doing jiu-jitsu 3 to 4 years. Been a blue belt for about 2.5 years. I've competed like you can count on one hand how many times, And it's like, to me, it's more for like self-defense, mental stuff. And then you see someone like you, every event, I feel you can lose. Like nothing against Lou, but like Lou has a smaller gym in Monaco. Like not a lot of people know Monaco.
That was my I think with my first super fight. Cause when I was a white belt, as a matter of fact, I never won a tournament or any match as a white belt. Wait, my very first match was in the gi. That was the only match I ever won as a white belt.
All right, so here's this question: gi or no gi?
I'm 10th planet, baby. Of course I'm no gi. I can't stand
Yeah.
the gi.
I that was a stupid question because
I
that is
can't
true,
stand the gi.
bro. I when I started, I was like, I love the gi because of my size, my strength,
Right.
a lot of grips. But like people also have that same advantage with me, you know. I'm
Right.
like, man, I don't know. And then I started training no gi, and I was like, I kind of like this. It kind of forces people to have to use something on me. So no gi. There you go. You heard it here, folks. In case you guys were wondering,
No gi. I hate the gi. If you know me well, I
I don't think I've ever seen you in a gi.
only time I was in the gi was at the real one. Yeah, the real one at the Lewis fight.
Because he had the no gi and you had the
And
do
that
gi.
sucked. Man, I remember what's his name? Jerry Reburn. I fought him in the gi. Oh my gosh, he baseball choked me off rip. Man, that dude's
If you don't train in it, man, like you got, it's hard to figure out like the defenses. Dude, as soon as someone starts grabbing right here,
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I'm like hands tuck.
I didn't know what to do. He got some type of grip. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like usually I just shuck under, shuck over. And I couldn't move his hands. Like his grip was so strong. He just threw me over and just baseball.
You tuck your fingers in the lapel, man.
I didn't.
It's hard to get out. I've had way smaller dudes than me. Dude, I can't rip it. It's just,
It sucks.
dude. Some people had a hand strength and forearm strength. So no gi. And you're a blue belt now.
I'm a blue belt.
How many tournaments have you had? I've seen you did ADCC trials. You did
ADCC Open.
Open. Sorry, you did ADCC Open. You did Arnold. You've done a number of NAGA.
Oh yeah.
You've done all kinds of tournaments.
I'm everywhere.
Can you count how many tournaments you've done?
Nah, I can't. I can't. I honestly can't. How many
That's how active he is.
I can't count.
So you started. You said football. What made you like
Hold
from
on,
football
I
to jiu-jitsu?
got to tell the whole story.
Let's go.
I got to tell the whole story. So we lost badly that night. It was Halloween night, 2020. I never forget. I came home crying like it was my senior year. I'm like, I don't got no sports to play. Like I try to use football as a way out. I mean, I wasn't that good. I was terrible at it, but at the same time, like at the time, I'm thinking to myself, I can like play college football and stuff like that. I thought it was like as a gateway to something to be successful. So like after we lost, I was on the bus home crying and stuff like that, and then I went home, and I forgot to tell you, my brother, my foster brother, he did jiu-jitsu. I mean, he's still doing jiu-jitsu. And, like, I kind of, like, sat in my room just debating, like, what I'm going to do now. Like, there's still track. There's still swim season. There's basketball. And then I thought about, like, I want to do something that, like, I don't have to go to college to play. I want something that keep me active, keep me, like, fit. But at the same time, I don't have to go to college to play. I don't have to get good grades to play. So I hit up I talked to my mom. My mom, she came to got me for something. And I just blurted out, I'm like, I want to do jiu-jitsu.
Did she know what jiu-jitsu? Oh yeah, you said your foster brother was doing it.
Yeah, like he was in my. That's another part. I'll get to that part later. So like so Monday night, I forgot what day it was. We went and then like my foster brother took me, and we was there. We was like doing stuff over reverse daily Hiva. That was my first class.
Oh wow.
We was doing reverse. Jumped right into it, and like I think that was a leg lock class. And I was like, yeah, that was a leg lock class, and like I was getting beat. Like, am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
I was getting my ass beat. Like everybody beat me. Justin Michaels, Jeff, my brother. I was getting beat.
What was your first gym? Was it 10th Planet?
Oh yeah, 10th Planet was my very first jiu-jitsu gym. I'll never forget the first day. I sucked. Like everybody was beating the shit out of me, but at the same time, like I didn't want to come back, but like. I took like a week off, and I'm like, you know what? That felt pretty good. I mean, even though I couldn't do anything, they was controlling me basically. But like, I said, I want to learn how to do that.
Ain't it crazy? Like the ability to control another human.
Oh yeah,
like
I can like choke people. I can make people like I can snap limbs. I don't want to, but like I have the power to control other people. So like yeah, I want to keep doing that.
The confidence that comes, I try to tell people all the time about jiu-jitsu, and they're like, oh yeah, jiu-jitsu or whatever. I'm like, you don't understand what it does to you, like especially to a man. Like you walk different, you think different, and you know, I don't know if you know, I'm a cop, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the bad situations that you see online comes from cops who don't train. You know, the fear kicks in, panic kicks in, they start escalating their level, and then you see stupid shit like shootings or cops punching some dude or something. It's like, and then you see the dudes and chicks who train jiu-jitsu or some form of martial arts or grappling, they're calm. You know, if you train jiu-jitsu, you're like, oh, this dude's about to fuck him up. But to someone who doesn't know, you're looking at him and be like, oh, this looks peaceful. This looks like he's just holding him down. And he's got so much top pressure on him. Dude's like begging for his life. But you see it like outside of law enforcement, you know, civilians who train, people who train, you walk different. Usually people are more calm, less prone to violence. Because it's like, are you going to choke this dude out at a bar because he's drunk and stupid? No, you're like, bro, like back off. Like,
yeah, like,
you know, so it does a lot. So my first jiu-jitsu class was at Stout, and I got paired, you know, I'm 230 pounds, and I've done a couple AMI fights prior to this, like many years ago in college. So like I learned quickly, you know, be humble, you know, don't come in here knowing shit. You know, they ask, hey, you got any jiu-jitsu experience? No. Immediately, no.
Yeah, I said no.
Nope, zero. And I got paired with a chick who was like 120 pounds. And like my first mistake was I'm like, oh, this sucks. Bro, I got worked.
Man.
Bro, she was on me. I'm removing one limb and another one comes on and I'm standing.
Man.
I'm exhausted. And then I start thinking to myself, like, why am I standing? Like, so then I get down on the ground. Then next thing you know, she's on my back.
In the gi?
Yeah.
Oh,
dude,
man.
I'm like, what? Like, what am I doing? She's 120 pounds. Well, from that day on, I was like, I need to really pick this shit up because that was bad. That was bad for me. Like, if I can't handle this, how the fuck am I supposed to handle something else? Like, I've always been a stand-up fight dude. Majority of fights growing up, I've been and end up on the ground. Right. So I'm like, well, I should probably brush that up, huh? So you were in this space of like, do I go back?
Yeah, like I was thinking to myself, I don't want to come back here because like first off, I'm fighting sweaty grown men. Like I don't know what to do. I felt like I never was gonna get better. I feel like they got years of experience. So what's the point in coming back? Like I'm not gonna get better. But at the same time, like I'm thinking to myself, like should I come back and get better or just stay home and just be lazy, play the game, be skinny for all my life? And then my brother asked me to come on a Wednesday class. So I'm like, all right, I'll come. And then that's when we start going over stuff like side control, back control, and then like going over the position. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's good to learn because like I think I forgot what I started like picking up stuff from. It was from like watching UFC, like watching like I became more aware. Cause like watching UFC, I seen like people getting like DARS, like back control and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, like that's jujitsu. Yeah, like yeah, that's jujitsu. Like getting choked, DARS. I'm like, oh, it's starting to make sense.
You started to be able to like comprehend what was going on and get bite-sized pieces. I think that's important. Like a lot of gyms, I don't know how 10 Planet does, but I've been to a few gyms where on your first day they throw you in, right, and it can be overwhelming for a lot of people. Like Stout's a huge gym. If you've never done anything like this and you walk into Stout, you're seeing 50 to 80 students. You got Muay Thai going on. You got people in the gym. You got a 40-person class here. It's scary. It's intimidating. And then you go in there, and let's say they're doing, you know, inverted shit today.
Oh, no.
You're going to be like, this ain't for me, you know? Yeah. So, like, one thing they implemented was, like, an intro class. Like, you go for a week. They teach you, like, positions, what it means, like, kind of like, all the basic jiu-jitsu lingo and positions. And then there's the fundamentals class, and then there's intermediate class, and then advanced class. So they've broken it down, and I feel like I've seen a lot of more people stay because of that. Because if it wasn't for my upbringing, like I fought just about every day. You know, I grew up Lower East Side of Erie. My mouth got me in trouble. I had to try and back it up. So like, if it wasn't for that upbringing of like always having that pressure, I'd have fucking left. I'd have been like, fuck this, you know. But a lot of people they aren't raised like that, you know. You got a lot of people have never been in a fight before, and they just want to be able to defend themselves. You go into that class and get worked, you're gonna be like, damn, do I really want to do this?
Yeah,
you know. And you had that mental fortitude to go, no, I'm gonna stick through it. So he brings you back on that Wednesday class.
And then we start. That's when cause he knew that like I was overwhelmed on that Monday. And then like it
was the same week, or no? You say you took a week.
Yeah, I took a week off. And then like we started going over like positions and like watching videos, and it started to make sense to me. So like I've been coming consistently for like a good month and a half. And then like one of our instructors, I think either Justin Michaels or Jeff Mock, they mentioned something about a tournament and people competing. I'm like, tournament? Like people competing this? I'm like, I thought it was just for like UFC and MMA. I'm like, people competing this? And they was like, yeah, we do tournaments every so often. I'm like, where? There's one in Cleveland. So like, you know what? Let me give it a shot, and I'm gonna go out and compete. And at the time, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do good. I'm gonna sign up for the gi and no gi. I never trained the gi prior to that. Not one in class. I'm like, it's gonna be easy. I just have a large jacket on. Like
it's the same thing with a robe.
Yeah. And my first tournament I signed up, my nerves were bad. Like my nerves were shot. Like my arms was stiff. I'm like, I want to quit. I want to go home right now. And then as soon as they call my name, Jeremiah Butler, step on them, I'm like, oh gosh. So I get the takedown, and he had me in close guard. We was there for like 5 minutes. Like I had him like all my strength held him down. That was the worst mistake of my life.
Well, yeah, like big dudes like me. That's like when you start. That's what you resort to. That's all you know. And then people just gas you out, dude. And like I tell people, if you can outlast 2 minutes, you probably got me. You probably got me. Those 2 minutes, I'm gonna give you fucking hell, because that's all I got in me. My gas tank goes whoop.
And at the time, I was like $150 at the time.
What do you weigh now?
I'm like 195. No, 190 right now.
And how tall are you?
I'm like 6'2".
Bro, that's like the fucking prime jiu-jitsu body. Seriously, long, but you still strong. That's dead. No wonder you be 34 fucking wins on smooth comp. That's the ones they count. So your first tournament, you're shot. You're sitting there, lots going through your mind. What was going through your mind as you're like driving to the tournament? And then when you get to the tournament,
when I drove there, like it felt like as if I was preparing for a football game. Like I never competed in jiu-jitsu. I'm thinking like I'm thinking like it's just like practice. Like it can't be that bad. Like I never trained the game. Oh well, I'm gonna just do the same thing in no-gi. I was wrong. I got humbled that day. The first match, that first match sucked because I wanted to quit knowing I had 4, and it was at Grappling Industries. So like I was guaranteed 4 matches in no-gi and gi. So like I wasn't round robin.
4 in each or 4 total?
Lost 4 in each.
Bro, that's wild.
And I fought every last one. I won that first one, and I just got destroyed. All of them got destroyed.
How was your conditioning going into that tournament? Like, was your conditioning good?
I wasn't working out. I mean, I was going to the gym, but like I wasn't taking it seriously. Like I just go in there, like get a pump and leave. But like I wasn't really training hard like that. I was just like going over the same stuff we did in class and just try to remember that. Like I wasn't like me preparing for that sucked. Like I didn't prepare for that at all. And then like I told myself, I know what, I'm just gonna stop competing. And then like I had that drive, like I'm like, I can't go out like that. So I competed again, got destroyed. I think I lost like 5 in a row. So I'm like, you know what? I can't go out like that. Competed again, I got destroyed. It was on my birthday, I got destroyed.
Damn.
On my 19th birthday, I lost. Man, that was. I'm about to get this gold somehow. And then like, that's when I went to college, and then I played basketball for there. I mean, I never played in high school. I was a walk on because I was tall. All I did was get rebounds and stuff like that. Worst year of my life, by the way. Man, that was
so much to unpack here, bro. I fuck with it.
That was part. I should have if I would have never played basketball for that school, I probably would have been a lot more better at jiu-jitsu than like it put like a pause to my progression, cause like I wasn't training at all. Like I was training on like holiday open mats. Like I was going to those, but like I was getting destroyed. So the basketball happened, and then I got kicked off / left. And then I went back into jiu-jitsu, and that's when I started training hard. And then I got my blue belt. I think it was 22. Yeah, like fall of 22. September 22nd or 21st. Yeah, I guess I can't remember. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. And then I got my blue belt. And then, like, as soon as I got my blue belt, like two weeks or 2 days later. No, it was 2 weeks later. Because I remember Lou hit me up for a super fight. I'm like, I don't know what a super fight is. I'm like,
I'll take a super fight all day. One and done.
yeah, I said, yeah, one and done. Yeah, it's not a tournament. I'm not fighting multiple dudes. Like, it's only one fight. How bad could it be? So I'm thinking they just gonna give me a white belt or a blue belt. Nah, like, we got a purple belt for you. I'm like, what? Excuse me? Yeah, we gotta fight this dude named, I think his name is Dustin Wagner, a purple belt.
I think was I there for that? I think I was. I think I was.
I think you might have been there. I'm like,
there was a little desk in the corner. Yeah, I was there for that.
Dustin Wagner. I'm like, man, fuck. I don't want. Like,
that's when I first saw you, and I'm like, holy fuck, this dude's huge.
Man, I was like, I literally just got promoted to blue belt after prior losing all of my tournaments, just to fucking fight a purple belt. I thought I was gonna get smashed, and like at that period, that's when I was getting introduced to leg locks and heel hooks. So like I was trying to like ankle lock him the whole time. And, like, we had some fair exchanges and stuff. Like, I had, like, a couple tight outside heel hooks on him. He wasn't tapping. I'm like, I did fairly good against him. So, you know what? I had that mindset. Like, I'm getting good. I'm progressing. I escaped that plateau. So, you know, I trained hard. That's when I started to train full time as I was a college student and working. So, that was tough. Man, that was tough.
How many days a week do you train now?
Right. I train, like, about 4 or 3 days a week consistently. And I also teach kids classes as well. So
another kids teacher. Bro, you'd be surprised what that does for your game. Like, to be able to...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
One, I'm a huge proponent that if you can teach what you're trying to learn, you'll get better at it. But, like, if you can teach kids... Bro, that's a whole different level.
You got to have patience.
Patience, being able to dissect things and introduce it in a different way that a child understands.
And you got to teach things legal. Like, I'm most a leg lock guy. I can't teach a 5-year-old, 6-year-old how to ankle lock. I can't do that. So I got to, like, look up things like basic. I do, like, back takes. So, like, I mean, I don't teach them alone. Like, I teach them with my instructor. Like, I basically help him out. And I mostly focus on the teams and the teams and the competitors.
You pick up a lot from that, though. You know, you're literally side by side with your instructor, bro. There's like that's invaluable. You can't put money on that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
You see, like, and I noticed like a lot of the people I have on here, the ones who teach kids tend to have better jiu-jitsu. You know, like Lucas, he teaches kids. Yeah, it's
Siebert.
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a dog.
Dude,
he's a dog.
He's a savage. I'd take him any day. I'm healing from my meniscus. I tore my meniscus, bro. I haven't trained since March 17th. I got the date.
Oh dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm about to go back and like start watching and then doing technique and then do, you know, a little live roll, and the next thing you know, I'll be back into it. I'm hoping. So, when did you see your game? You said, "Oh, that's when I escaped the plateau." Did you ever hit a moment where you're like, "Oh, this is it. I'm starting to like understand what's happening and being able to push past that," or is it something gradually?
It happens gradually. I hit like a lot of plateaus. I just hit a plateau recently. Like I think the beginning of the year. Like I felt like my game wasn't getting any better. Like I felt like I go to class every day and I try to pick up new materials, but like I felt like I wasn't like getting better. I was drilling. I feel like it wasn't my game because I felt like just leg lock everybody. That was my thing. Just leg lock everybody. Get to the legs and rip
I'm a Americana everybody kind of guy. That or Kimura.
That's a big guy move.
Yeah. It's like that's my go-to. I could just force your arm down, bait something, and then go for it. But like, other than that, now I got to get creative. Like me putting a triangle on someone, it's tough. I got short, fat legs. Me, you know, I can, you know, arm bar, but triangles, chokes, strangles, like. I got short, stubby arms, bro. Like, shit like that don't really work for me. So I got to find extremities that, you know, and pull them from the body. That's my go-to.
Right.
But everyone has their game. Are you at a level now you think that you're starting to, like, tailor jiu-jitsu to Jeremiah, to you? Or are you still, like, just trying to learn as much as you can?
I mean, I kind of, like, here's the thing. I found, like, a new way of, like, learning and getting better. Like, instead of, like, going to class and learning techniques and stuff, like I feel like I'm gonna just add to my toolbox. Like I play guard and I try to like get under somebody. Like I'm not gonna try to do any like submissions from top. So like for instance, like if the class they're teaching us about like Americanas and like Darces and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna pay attention to it, but like I'm gonna try to add on to my game. Like I'm gonna focus on like K guard, like reverse guard, like stuff like leg lock stuff, and then like I'm gonna add it to my game, and then like I can challenge myself. And well, you know what? I already got enough tools in my toolbox, so let's learn something new. So let's try to focus. So this whole week, let's focus on not leg locking anybody. Let's try to get a darts. Let's try to get a triangle. And then like once I try to perfect that, then I go back to adding on to my games. Cause like I feel like doing that, that's how I escape that plateau.
Oh, for sure. A lot of great instructors talk about that. Like open mat's so important to attend.
Oh yeah.
You know, my first couple years, I never attended an open mat, and I was always wondering like why I fucking suck so bad. But it's like, you know, the 10 minutes you roll after class, live roll, applying that technique for the day, like that's not enough. That just gives you like a little taste, and then now you got to go out and like drill it. Open mat affords you that, you know. Like when I would go to open mat, I'll be like, you know, today, since we're on the topic of Americana, I'm gonna try to get an Americana no matter what. So that's my goal. So now I'm forced to find creative ways and different positions and move my body differently to achieve that goal, right? Because if I'm in guard, how am I going to Americana someone? I don't have the limb length to go up, and so now I have to find a way to get out of this. So I'm still training jiu-jitsu. I'm still applying different techniques and stuff, but with a goal in mind. And same for the gym. You know, when people be like, "Oh, you go to the gym," I train. Like when I go lift, I lift with a purpose. I live with a lift with a goal in mind. So I call it training. When you do jiu-jitsu, are you going to open mat? Yeah, I'm going to go train. Like if you don't have a goal in mind when you're in open mat, you're just kind of like, you're not really working anything. You're working cardio.
Yeah, basically.
Find a goal and then hammer that goal, you know, like leg locks. Next 2 weeks of open mat, I'm hammering leg locks. That's your goal. If that's your goal and that's all you're looking for, and now you're forced to find creative ways, creative avenues to get that goal. So then when you're in a tournament, you're not like, I'm going to leg lock this guy. You're like, I'm going to go in and work. And then you're going to be like, oh man, I was in this position the other time and I got a leg lock from this position. Like you start creating those neural pathways in jiu-jitsu because that's important.
Oh yeah.
Like jiu-jitsu is a mind game, bro. A lot of it's thinking.
It's like a chess match, basically.
That's what it is. It's human chess matches. Who do you attribute a lot of your like early on sticking with it? You mentioned your foster brother. Was there anyone else that kind of like kept you on the path of jiu-jitsu? Because it's so hard when you're starting. It's so easy, rather, when you're starting to just be like, fuck this, I'm done. It's tough. Like, what kept you, you know, you said you lost all these tournaments. That's a deterrent for a lot of people. What kept you pushing through that?
I think, like, because, like, I know growing up, I didn't have the best life. And, like, I did struggle a lot growing up. And, like, it's just constant, just losing. I just hate losing. I hate giving up. And, like, it felt like I just didn't want to give up. Because I know I'm gonna keep losing. And I purposely went in the tournaments, knew I was gonna lose. I'm gonna give it everything I got, but I'm gonna lose. But that's okay. I'm gonna go into the gym and I'm gonna work hard and I'm gonna go compete again. If I lose, that's okay. Cause I just hate losing. I mean, it's okay to lose. That's when I got to realize it's okay to lose, but it's okay. But it's not okay to like lose and quit. I'm not a quitter. I never quit in any sport I've done. I never quit.
I think you only lose when you quit.
That's all. Like,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, I think we grew up similarly. I don't know your past, but like I didn't have much growing up either. You know, my mom struggled a lot to put food on the table. You know, she worked 3 jobs. I had the fresh Shacks to go to school. You know, I didn't have Jordans or Nike. I had Shacks. You know, so I have no complaints about my childhood, but I think I can relate to that. Like, man, when's my break? Like, if I stop now, everything I've done just wasted. So I tend to see most things through. And if it blows up in my face, hey, I learned, pivot, go. And with jiu-jitsu, with life, it's so important to, like, even when you lose, quote unquote lose, finding those teachable moments. Like what can I pull from this? What can I learn from this? Tournaments. I'm tired, man. Okay, I need to focus on nutrition. I need to focus on cardio. I need to focus on like this dude just outworked me. I had Devin. I don't know, my homie Devin Siegfried. He's a pro boxer, and he said on here, and it resonates with me now. He's like, I may get outboxed one day. I'll never get outworked.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, fuck, dude, that makes so much sense. Like if you can apply that to life, like there's gonna be people who are better than you at things, but they're not gonna approach it as hard as I'm going to. That I know. I may not have access to the best coaches, which, not to be biased, I do. But no, 10th Planet, you guys are insane, especially in the competition world. It's wild. But I may not have access to the best material or the best equipment but one thing I do have access to is what I put into something. And I think that's very important. We talk about a lot of mental stuff here on the Relentless Project because I believe if you remain relentless in your pursuit towards a goal, you will be successful.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's inevitable. If you do something long enough, you're about to be successful. Amazon. Do you know where Amazon was started?
I think it was like at a garage.
It was in a garage, bro. You know how many L's they took before they became multi-billion-dollar
They had to
company?
take a lot of L's.
A lot of L's, bro. Like how many losses did you take as a white belt?
A lot.
Now, what you won? Did you win gold in Arnold?
I want to go. That was in the purple belt division.
Oh, no big deal.
So I
Just
submitted everybody in that bracket with one sub. I submitted everybody in that bracket with one sub.
I don't know if you flexing or like.
I'm not flexing.
He said no. That was the purple belt division.
That was the purple division. I submitted everybody in that. Well, I'm not trying to flex or anything. I'm just saying.
That's dope though. Like
with one sub, I ankle locked everybody in that. Everybody.
Man, you really had the ankle lock in your fucking mind that day, huh? How was that competition? I've never been to an Arnold.
It's big.
Jiu-jitsu
Like
match.
it's just like so many walking around.
Because that's newer, right? Within the last couple of years, they incorporated jiu-jitsu.
I think so.
How was the atmosphere? Was it like packed for jiu-jitsu or is it?
It was packed. Cause like 2 years ago when I competed at the Arnold, I think it was 22. It was 23. Year of 23 at the Arnold. They had the venue like right downstairs with every other event because they had night fighting, medieval fighting. They had a powerlifting, a competitive tag. Like they had any.
You ever seen that though?
Competitive tag? That looked insane.
I saw it on YouTube one time. I'm like, holy shit, this is actually it's like jumping through stuff.
Like you gotta be extremely agile. Cause I don't know how they do that. I mean, you had to buy tickets to watch it live because everybody had their own little section.
There's a lot of sports competing, and then they added jiu-jitsu. Your first time was 2 years ago at the Arnold competing. How before that? Have you ever done a tournament that big or a competition that big?
Just Nagas and I think I did a super fight beforehand, but after that, I just been doing Nagas and grappling industries.
And those tournaments tend to be, I mean, they're big organizations, but they tend to be local and smaller, right?
Like Pittsburgh, I know for a fact, Pittsburgh, grappling industries, and Nagas, there barely be nobody in my division. You get max, this last one, I had maybe 2 or 3 people in my division. I'm like, nah, I'm not about to pay $100 and something just to fight 2 people. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Now, do walkovers count there in those?
I believe so.
So, have you ever been walked over?
Oh, multiple times.
How does that, how do you
sucks.
feel?
I literally, 2 years ago at the Arnold, my second match and my third match, I had 2 walkovers. I literally watched the dude, went up to the ref and said, I'm done. He's not injured or anything. He said that he wasn't feeling good. Prior to me watching him compete in the gi. And he won that bracket. He won that whole bracket. But yeah, he came up to the ref as I was stepping on the mat and said I don't want to compete.
That's wild. I had a guy I work with. There was the Can-Am in Butler. It's like Olympics for cops and fire. There's all kinds of sporting events. He did the jiu-jitsu in Slippery Rock, and he had made it to the end. He had a podium, but the dude he was supposed to go with to win had already showered. He's like, yeah, I'm not competing. I already showered.
Already showered.
And dude's like, my buddy's like, I'm not winning first because dude just doesn't want to compete. He wouldn't compete. So they did, I forget what they did. The scoring was kind of different. It was, if you subbed, you got certain points. If you won by points, you got certain points. So he ended up subbing more people than the other two, so he ended up getting first. But he was so bent out of shape about winning first because he got walked over.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do understand where he's coming from, because like you want to earn, you want to earn it, like you want to beat everybody that's in your way instead of just like that's an easy win. Like I don't.
It doesn't taste the same. After.
My last match at ADCC was a walkover.
So what did that mean for you? Like, did you end up like did you progress? Like I don't know how ADCC works.
Like I beat two dudes, and then I lost my third match by this tough wrestler, man. I think his name was Bobby Pease. Shout out. That was a shout out. That dude, he beat me, bro. Like I kind of figured he was a wrestler because he was kind of bigger and stuff. But like, just watching him just dominate everybody before me.
They're so aggressive.
For
like, no reason.
Smashing through the tables. I'm like, I'm not forgetting it's ADCC. Like you can do that. Like make the match more entertaining. He beat me by like 6 points. I'm like, nah, you got that. And then they put me in the losers bracket for third. And I subbed everybody except for my last guy because he didn't show up.
Yeah, that's sour. Because it's like, you made it so far.
Atlantic
just
City.
The default. Like,
it sucks.
I guess, what were some challenges you faced in these tournaments? Like, what are some things that you had to kind of push through when you're there?
The mental block. Because, like.
What's that?
It's like that mental block that you like always doubting yourself. Because, like, even to this day, I doubt myself. Even though, like, I'm for sure going to win, I still doubt myself. Because, like, I feel like that never goes away. Even, like, I feel like even, like, as a black belt, or you've been training for, like, 50 years, 30 years, however long you've been training, I feel like that mental block never goes away. You just find a different way to deal with it. Like, I be doubting myself like a motherfucker. Every competition, like, 2 days ago, I doubted myself. I'm like, damn, I might lose this one. But then, like, I go in there, I start working my stuff, and, like, if something goes wrong, I'm like, yeah, he got me. But then somehow I kind of, like, get over it. I'm like, no, I'm not losing this match. I will not lose this match.
Where do you think that comes from?
I mean, it's just intimidation. Like, people say that, like, I don't get intimidated by my opponent. Everybody gets intimidated in some way.
I've had that conversation with people like, I don't get scared. It's like, bro,
you get scared. Trust me.
You just deal with it better than most people, I'm sure. But, like, fear is innate. Like,
you can't escape it.
It's what you do with fear that, like, constitutes if you're a hero or brave or badass or whatever terms all the kids are using. But, like, everyone has fear. Do you allow fear to stop you, or do you allow fear to fuel you? Yeah, you know, I agree with you. I've had people on here like, I don't get scared. I'm like, bro, I've been through some shit. I still get scared.
Yeah,
I don't let it affect me. Like, I found ways to cope and deal with it. I still get scared. Dude, we're human, bro. Like,
yeah,
fear's in us.
Human nature. Like, I still get like.
So, someone told me, because I do that shit a lot too. Like, even when I speak, you know, when I was at CJI, you ever heard of Tap Cancer Out?
Yeah, I heard about that.
So I'm sitting there, I see their promo video, and I'm like, oh, dude, like, I'm gonna reach out to these dudes. I'd love to partner with them, and it's a good cause. It's jiu-jitsu. I love jiu-jitsu. I fucking hate cancer. We both hate cancer.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is perfect. So I'm like, I'm gonna message them, and immediately I tell myself, no, they're like, my podcast is small. They won't even entertain it. Like, we tell ourselves stupid shit like this, you know. And if it wasn't for my boy being there, he's like, what's the worst that happens? They don't open or they say no. So what? Your life goes on. And I'm like, no, I mean, that makes sense. So I reached out to the dude, and I put my phone in my pocket. And I'm like, oh man, fuck. I hope they open it at some point. You know, they open it, and they replied, hey, you know, busy weekend. Like, let's link up after this CJI's over. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, good. You know, I'm like, fuck, that's good news. I put it in my pocket. Like 10 minutes later, some point later, I pull my phone back out, and they're like, actually, where are you sitting? Like, let's link up right now. Like, what section you in? Let's talk.
Oh.
I'm like, bro, I'm right here. Like, so we ended up meeting, and the dude's like, you know, and another like self-doubt. You know, I meet the dude. He's like, hey, bro, sorry. Like, my wife runs the social media. She's like, hey, like, I don't want to let this slip. Like, so I messaged you. He's like, yeah, like, I kind of looked at your podcast stuff. I could have been like, oh, bro, I appreciate it. No, first thing I said, oh, yeah, you know, fairly new, you know, not a lot of followers. Like, we do this shit. We put ourselves down kind of expecting so we don't get disappointed, right? Like, if you think the worst and you're ready for the worst
will happen.
When you get it, you're like, oh, man, I knew it. Like, you're not surprised. You know, people hate rejection. People have this fear of being let down. So if you let yourself down, when someone does it, you're like, I expected it. He's like, no, dude, like, we tried to launch a podcast. We only made it to 10 episodes. Like, you're at 40 something. Like, dude, that's a testament to where you're at. He's like, oh, here's my business card. Gave him mine. We started talking. Well, now I have a Tap Cancer Out link. And
dang.
So I actually was talking to Mike and Warren. It doesn't matter what gym you're from. Doesn't matter what rank you are. December 14th, they have this, Tap Cancer has this event every year. And it's like grappling for against cancer. You sign up and you grapple for an hour straight to raise awareness for cancer.
I'll do it.
So Stout's about to be hosting it.
I'll do it.
Hey, bro, I want to see you there. There's a link in my bio somewhere. I'll put it out. But I'm trying to get as many people. Like, one, yeah, we're raising money for cancer. That's awesome. But two, it's like, one thing I love about the Pittsburgh jiu-jitsu and grappling community is you can walk into Mat Factory, right? Because people know you. Oh, that's Jeremiah. Hey, can I train today? Ooh, Isaac would be like, fuck yeah, come on in. Give my guys work.
Like, that's my second home for real.
Yeah, like,
Mat
it ain't
Factory.
no like, oh, hold on, you're with 10th Planet. Like, none of that shit fucking matters. You're training today. We're all training. I fucking went there. I did a episode with Isaac.
I'll listen to that.
Dude,
I'll listen to that podcast.
He's like, you trying to grapple after? It's fucking Cody Law. It's Cody Gamble. He had a couple of his brown belt. There was a video of me throwing up after. That's all I'll say. I'm like hurling outside, and Isaac's with his phone, like, oh, hello, welcome to Mat Factory. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like dogs out there. But yeah, what I want to see is every fucking gym, like one day for an hour. Come in, get your roll in, bring a partner or whatever, or find someone there, roll for an hour, dude, raise money for cancer. So back to that topic of like self-doubt, right? I'm like, oh, I'm not going to send this message. And then I meet him, I'm like, oh, it's a little podcast. And then it's like, after the show, I'm like, oh, dude's going to forget about me. Like, we tell ourselves this, so if it happens, we're like, oh, I knew it. But like, what does that get you?
It just like all that, like, then you don't act on it, and then you have a wasted opportunity. Like, it's like, I forgot. I think Michael Jordan said this. He said you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Dude, so, that's for real.
That's a fact.
And like, if you're going in, especially in the competition, oh man, this dude's gonna work me. He's stronger. It's already 2 against 1. Like, you're against yourself, and this dude's obviously against you. You know, and it's easier said than done. But one thing I've started doing is like, when I find myself about to say some negative shit about myself or something I'm affiliated with, I stop. I'm like, nah, like I'm doing this thing. Like, yeah, it is new. So what? You know, so what?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everyone started somewhere. Everyone, you know, in my jiu-jitsu, I'll walk in sometimes a class, like, I look at fucking when Christian was training hard, I'm like, man, this dude's a fucking 19.
Monster.
And destroy me. I'm 30. Well, I'm 31 now, but I'm like, dude, I'm pushing 30 at the time. I'm pushing 30. Only a blue belt. This kid, like, is amazing.
Is he still a blue belt?
I don't know, dude. I ain't been to the gym for a while.
I seen that dude like tap out black belts and stuff. I'm like, dang.
But we feed our minds, and then our minds feed our hearts, and like, then you're like, oh, I'm gonna get beat, or fuck, this is gonna suck. Yeah, it is gonna suck. You knew that. What are you gonna do about it? It's like, shit, okay. Like, it's just framing your mind differently. You know, that's something. Try doing that. Next time you're coming, like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. Don't think about the outcome. Like, all right, I'm gonna work for this. This dude has a long neck. I'm gonna go for these, you know, these chokes, these cranks. You start feeding yourself this stuff to manifest. You know, start envisioning the outcome. And usually, if you start, what you think will happen. Usually, like, if you want good stuff to happen, you have to do good things, right? So you have to think good. If you think bad things, you're going to act accordingly. You know, like if you go into a fight, timid, scared, oh, this dude's about to fucking knock me out. You're gonna start moving differently, and then you're gonna end up knocked out. It's all mindset, bro. Like mindset. Fucking Jocko talks about all the dudes doing big things. Talk about framing your mindset, and then we're down here like, fuck. You know, I don't know how I got on that. I got ADHD, so I go on tangents.
Same.
Yeah. So these tournaments, right? You're in there. You're like, fuck, like this is gonna be tough.
That feeling never goes away.
So how do you deal with that? How do you cope with that? Are there things you do that kind of get your mindset right, or does your mindset start going right when you start performing?
I think like before, like when I first started competing, like I was just scared and dumped myself. But like now I still feel the same way, but I kind of put it towards like, I don't want to say courage, but like I kind of like have like determination. I turn that word into determination. I'm like, this dude's here to do damage to me. I'm gonna do damage to him first. Like I go in there thinking I'm about to wreck this dude. I gotta go in there acting like an animal. I gotta be an animal in there because as soon as I make a mistake and act weak, he's gonna take advantage of that, and I'm gonna get subbed. I mean, I hate to think. I try to live like I try to like act like modest and like act like I'm trying to find that word. Like I don't like talking shit, or I don't like doing none of that.
Humble.
Yeah, humble. I try to be humble. But like then like there's that voice in the back of my head. I'm about to fuck this dude up. I'm about to take his leg with me today.
It's funny you mentioned that because when I first saw you, I think you had your shirt off. And I'm like, this fucking dude. Like, I admit it, bro. I'm like, this fucking dude. Shirt off, yeah, fucking looks amazing, tall. I'm like, oh, he's probably going to fuck this dude up because of the appearance, right?
Yeah.
You know? And then, like, I'm following your social media. I'm like, oh, this fucking kid's, like, got his shit right. Like, head right, training right, competing a lot. And that's why I messaged you a while ago. Like, oh, you should, like, I'd love to have you on the podcast. You're like, bro, let's go. I'm like, oh, shit. All right, let's go. And then now, you know, finally we were able to do it. But, you know, that perception, right? Like, you fucking take that shirt off. Dudes see you ripped, long. They're like, you're giving them that
and
fear.
I try to, like, implement that.
Yeah.
I try to, like, implement. I'm about to, like, give that intimidation. Even though I'm like, damn, I'm scared. I'm scared myself. I'm like.
But it goes to show you how that works, man. Because, like, when I saw you, I didn't see fear. I'm like, oh, this dude's about to. Like,
I was scared. I was scared. If you saw me compete with my shirt, I was scared.
That takes a lot for someone to admit that, bro. And
oh yeah.
And I almost fear dudes like that even more because I'm like, yo, if he says it, he means it. Like you're like,
yeah.
My shirt's off, I'm scared. I see you with your shirt off, I'm like, oh fuck, he's supposed to be scared. He don't look scared. He's supposed to be scared. So now you start fucking with people's minds, and that's a huge. I think in jiu-jitsu it's huge, especially or UFC, MMA, fighting, any like the first thing, and we teach it in law enforcement, right? The first presence is officer presence, right? They interviewed a bunch of dudes who killed and attacked cops, and one of the questions was like, why'd you choose that cop? And most of the responses were because they didn't look like they could take care of themselves. They looked easy, you know. And you see some cops, you know, their uniforms are saggy, they don't work out, they got donuts everywhere. You're like, this dude on like easy target. But that's with people too. You see people, like most people who get mugged, their heads down, looking in their phones, not paying attention to their surroundings. They appear like easy targets. You see a dude walking or a chick walking, head high, shoulders up. Well, you're like, oh, that dude's gait's a little, you know, he's got a weird gait. That dude probably fights, or that dude probably, or the big famous one, cauliflower ear. You see a dude with cauliflower ear.
Man,
hey,
I had it bad. Last.
I
drained it myself. When I was on vacation, I drained it like 8 times. Like I had to bring syringes with me.
Fuck that! I don't do needles.
Man, like it sucked because I I just like took my head down, like put it in there. Like it sucked like the first 2 times that I drained it. But, like, afterwards, it just became, like, just nothing.
Not only does he have cauliflower, he drains it himself.
I drain my cauliflower myself.
Fuck that.
And it sucked every single time.
But that's a universal sign of don't fuck with that dude, right? No matter how small, how big. Cauliflower, you're like, damn, that dude probably gets after it. But it's all a perception, right? He could have, like, Steve-O smashed his ear in between plates to try and get...
that's stupid.
It's stupid, but, like...
Well, you gotta
That
earn
dude,
that.
that dude could be walking around with cauliflower ear, and the first thing you're gonna think of is be like, if you didn't see his videos, you don't know who he is. You're gonna be like, dude probably fucks around, like. But meanwhile, he
Yeah.
put it in between
I
plates.
seen that. I wasn't it John Jones who smashed it.
He was like punching the plate into
I'm
his
like,
ear or something.
you gotta earn that. I mean, like,
That's one way to earn it. I mean, not the right way, but
yeah.
fuck. How do you prepare for events now, competitions now? You said early on you didn't really prepare, you didn't know how. What has changed from then now? Like, what's your preparation look like for a big tournament you're about to do?
So like a big tournament, I look through the bracket, see who's in the bracket, and then like I always sign up for tournaments the day before, because like I don't want to like put my name in there. And then they look at it, bro. Like I got Jeremiah Butler. They do research on me or like look me up or anything. Like I want them to know that like last minute, like my bracket's cool. Then boom, I'm in there. Like I wanted to be a surprise.
You're fucking savage.
I wanted it to be a surprise. So I always sign up for
like,
tournaments.
I'm good for this, and then next day, Jeremiah Butler. Fuck.
Like I want people to know that like I'm not gonna sign up like right away. So I'm gonna sign up. Same thing with IBJJF. I mean, I'm telling you now, I'm gonna do it, but like. I'm probably gonna sign up like last minute for that too, cause like I mean it's a big event.
Secret's out, bro.
And the secret's out, so I'm doing IBJJF. That's the plan. So like that's the first thing I do to prepare. I see who's in my bracket, and then like I look them up, do my research, and then like Mondays I go hard. I get after it. I do like I start with a meal plan. So in the morning I eat eggs and steak. For that Monday morning, and then I go for a run around like 8 o'clock, and then this is when I don't have school, and then I kind of like chill, relax, take a cold shower, and then like I get ready for the gym again at 4 o'clock, and then I teach kid classes at 5 to 7, and then like 7 o'clock to like 9 o'clock I just drill hard as much as I can. I did not start like working on techniques, leg locks and stuff, and then
You're still in school now?
Oh yeah.
Damn, and you're doing all this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking wild. What are you in school for, if you don't mind me?
I'm in for criminal justice.
Oh, what you trying to do with that, or just?
I mean, I wanted to be like my goal. Off topic. My goal was I want to be a bounty hunter. Like I always wanted to be a bounty hunter.
Dog the bounty hunter. What is it? It's dog, right?
Yeah, it's Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I
Like,
used to watch that show.
I always wanted to be a bounty. I'm like, damn, that shit look.
Can you imagine this motherfucker chasing you because you owe money or something? Like, just take me. Just take me. No, okay, that's dope. So like you're balancing. How do you balance school,
It's tough.
coursework, training?
It's tough because like right now, this is my last semester before I graduate with my associates. So like, I'm fortunate to not have any classes that overlap my training. So like, I kind of like do like the first 3 days. I just take notes and go to class, and I don't usually do work unless it's due Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So I do all my work on the weekends. I do all my work, all my projects, all my exams, papers on the weekends. Cause like I focus like mostly on jiu-jitsu Mondays through Fridays. And then I take that free time, that downtime to catch up on all my work. It's a terrible way to approach things. I mean, I hope my mom bleeps that part out because she is my chemistry teacher.
Does she have social media?
Oh, she does. And most likely she's going to be watching this video. I'm sorry. I still love you. I'm going to get my work done.
I'm just a host, Mom. I'm just a host. I'm asking questions.
I'm going to still get my work done. But like that's my way of like balancing jiu-jitsu in school.
Use jiu-jitsu as a reward. Now make sure you get no training unless schoolwork gets done.
Yeah.
Let me stop before I get dorsed or something. What drives you to keep training? Because you've been doing this for about 4 years now. You know, burnout happens. You know, people's drives change, goals change. What keeps you in it, training, still getting after it after so long?
It's the glory of progression. Like that keeps me moving. Like it's not even about winning tournaments, winning super fight. That used to be a big thing. Like I want to keep winning tournaments and stuff like that. But now I'm at the point where like I want to get beat up every day. Cause if I know if I like that's the thing that I want to get.
Your mom's watching, bro. Damn. I mean, dang.
Like, I want to get beat up every day because if I get beat up, I know the next day I'm gonna get beat up. I'm gonna get beat up less because I'm gonna keep training. I'm gonna keep like I go like I mean, there's no easy roles at my gym, and that's why I like because I know I get beat up by Jeff Mock, my instructor, every single day.
Bro, that's a T-shirt. No easy rolls.
No easy rolls. I go by that because I feel like if you take it easy on me, I feel like that's like signs of disrespect. Like you're disrespecting me basically. Like I want you to, I mean not go like competition. I mean I do appreciate that, but like I want 100%. Give it everything you got.
Yeah, because you're giving everything, so you want at least that in return. That makes sense.
Like, I want to like because I know like I kind of like I like getting beat up because I know I'm learning. Like you can't. I'm not learning nothing if I win. If I win every match, that'll be boring. I'm not learning. It kind of loses its value. Like, cause right now, like, if I apply for a tournament and I lose, I'm like, nah, I don't take it to heart. I'm like, I'm gonna just review it, do this, like review it, train, like do everything I do to like keep winning. Like,
what does winning mean to you?
Winning means. It has like winning to me has so many definitions because like even when I lose I can still win like I can get my excuse my language I can get my ass beat and as long as I come off the mat the same way I come on the mat with my head held high and not putting myself down and I'm still going to train the next day that's to me that's winning because I remember I lost a cage grappling match at Arena Grappling. That was another shout out. And
Everybody getting it.
I got my ass beat. It was I think he was a 205 brown belt. I got my ass beat. And the next day, I drove 8 hours to come to the Mat Factory Sunday morning to train. Cause like I'm like, you know what? I mean, I did kind of like talk bad about myself. I'm like, I suck. Maybe I should quit. I should take a break. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go the next morning and I'm gonna train. I'm gonna get better because like I hate sitting around knowing that like to me, like you can only get better or worse. Like there's no plateau.
Bro, I've always said that like life or whatever you do is a steep incline, right? You're constantly pushing to improve or you're falling.
Like there is no in between.
Yeah, there is no in between. Like when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna just chill and rest." Okay, but success, winning, don't care about that. It's gonna keep looking. I'm reading this book. Well, I'm on Audible. Well, I'm at the gym training. I don't listen to music anymore. I listen to books, podcasts. I think you might appreciate this. It's called Winning by Tim S. Grover. And when I hear stuff, I start like writing it down. Then I'll put like. I have X or Twitter X, and I'll put it on there so I can refer to it later. I'm going to read some of these so it can like... So he talks about winning is a driving obsession that looks irrational to others and perfect to you. It's unforgiving. If you screw up, if you lay down, if you show weakness, you're done. It shows you the best of you and the worst. One more step to uncertain destination that might not even be there. Winning is craziness. It doesn't sleep, and it doesn't understand why you do. It refuses to share time or space with others in your life. Like a jealous lover who demands all of you. It gets your time. Winning never lies, but it always hides the truth. It tells you everything you want is so close, and then laughs as it slams the door in your face. It tells you all your dreams and goals are impossible, and then taunts you to keep going. It's the ultimate reality check, a scorching reminder of who you are and who you're pretending to be. Winning forces you to reconcile the difference. Winning keeps its hands in its pockets so it doesn't accidentally point to someone unworthy. It holds you up to the sun and then watches you burn. If you manage to reach the top, it will be there to greet you with open arms, then pushes you off the ledge to make room for someone else.
That's deep.
Savage, bro.
That's deep.
And what I got from that, I'm like, everyone wants to win, right? But are you doing what is required to win? Because winning, it's not a final destination. It's not something you get and hold on to. It's something you get to play with for a second, and then boom, it's gone. You have to chase it again. And it's the perfect metaphor for life. Like, once you've thought you've won, once you think you've reached success, once you think you got it, it's a fucking scary place to be. Because that's when you start going the opposite way. Dude, I'm listening to this book while I'm at the gym, and I'm like, damn, do I want to win?
You must have been like hit like hitting reps. You heard them like you had to put the
Bro, I
ice
put
down.
it down. I literally put it down.
Yeah,
I was
reread that.
mid-bench, bro. I was mid-bench. I racked it. I sat up, and I just started like, I rewinded,
Write that
started
down,
tweeting.
write
Bro,
that
I'm
down.
like, dude, because like, imagine if you think like that all the time. You go into a tournament, and you're like, do I want to win? Am I going to give everything? Like, and am I going to appreciate it when I have it? Because if you win, and then you're like, oh, I'm the best in jiu-jitsu. And we see this with a certain competitor in jiu-jitsu today. I won't name names because he's a lot more influential than I am. But I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I'm this. It's like once you've reached that point, you know how many people are clawing their fucking way up to get to where you're at and won't stop once they reach where you're at? Like you're comfortable there?
Like you can't be comfortable.
Dude,
there.
it's scary, bro. It's scary when you get there. And if you're done with it, you're done with it. That's a whole
I
different...
think I made a video. Actually, I made a motivational video today.
I saw it. Talking about discipline and motivation.
I think it was that too that I made one about winning and like training after win, like success. Like once you win, you can't be like, I'm gonna take a day off. No, you have to keep training.
Keep the momentum.
You got it, because once that momentum stops, like you're crashing. Like you can't take, like I don't believe in days off. I believe in rest and recovery.
But that's not a day off. You need to do that. That's for a goal.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, and like I'm guilty of this. People are like, oh, dude, you just keep going. You're doing too much. You're doing a lot. You have a podcast. You have this. You do real estate. You do this. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I find comfort in the chaos. I thoroughly enjoy doing this.
I'm comfortable doing this.
Yeah, like I'm good doing this. Oh, you're overworked. You're tired. I'm like, I'm just tired because I don't sleep.
Not overworked. I'm just tired.
I'm just tired. Like that. Those are two separate issues. And then one I got to deal with. But like I'm never overworked because I'm always like I've always been one like if I'm sitting down, my daughter wants to sit down and watch a movie. I am guilty of like pulling the laptop over and starting to. I'm like, no, like this is intentional time with my daughter. Like I need to. This is something I have to prioritize. Like I have to make this a thing. And while I'm sitting there, I'm guilty of like, dude, I could be getting so much done right now.
All the time.
But I also have to understand like this is also important for my life. This is a goal of mine, is to have a good fostering relationship with my daughter. I grew up without a father. So like that's very important to me to be an active, present father. Me pulling my laptop up probably doesn't send a good message, So like
Right.
But in my head, in the back, I'm like, dude, I could be like, I got so much graphics I could be doing or getting ready for the next episode. Or I'm never like, it's never shut off, and like finding other people who understand that is so tough. I'll be talking to people and they're like, oh yeah, we just came back from vacation. I got to take a week off and settle down. I'm
Man,
like,
I hate hearing that.
how much time do you have to be able to do that?
And then they want to hop into a tournament or something. Like, you know what? Like you have to keep working. Like when I went on vacation with my family, I was sick. I looked up the nearest gyms. My mom told me not to bring no rash guards. Don't bring nothing. I'm like, man, I'm about to just work out. I'm about to just work out my Nike pants or something. I got to train. I got to work out.
That being said, too, like having that time with mom is also important.
It is
so
important.
Like, it's a balance, and that's something I understand and get. But like for people like you and me, it's like there's always that I could be getting better at this. Well, right now we're focusing on this, and it's I try to do a lot all the time, and it's like prioritizing which, like, you're not stopping something, you're shifting priorities and continuing pushing. Like when you shut all that off and you're like, I'm just gonna, it's like, how can you do that?
I don't understand.
You can be working towards something. I'm working towards rest. How much rest do you need? You just took a week off.
Yeah, like
yeah, it's I don't get it, because if you want, and then this is like, and let me caveat, I do understand taking some time off. I do get that. Like if you want to take, I get it. I do understand. But you cannot complain that you're not where you want to be after that rest. That's my only caveat. You take
true.
You take a rest off. You take rest. You whatever, a break from whatever job you're doing, career, hobby, whatever. After that rest, pick up where you left off. Understand where you're at. My biggest pet peeve is when people are like, oh man, like I'm not ready for this. Why'd you take a week off then? You don't get to complain now. You knew this was coming and you decided to take a break.
Literally.
Well, I needed a break. Then you don't get to complain about this.
And don't compete.
And people are going to get fucking pissed off at me for saying that. You're competing. You don't get the rest. You just don't. Unless you don't care about the results of the competition. If you don't care about the results of the competition, it's just a look for you. Take your rest. Break.
Oh, yeah, take your rest. Shit.
Yeah, but like if you are serious about this competition and improving your game, you don't get to rest. That's life. That's winning, right? Like you can take a rest. Winning ain't gonna wait. Success ain't gonna wait. It's gonna go on to the next person who wants it the most.
Literally.
It's very jealous.
Cause like me, right now I can't even rest if I honestly wanted to, because like I got like a lot, like if I turn my phone off, I got like all these like messages from different promotions from all like East Coast. I got some in Ohio, and I'm just trying to like schedule them. Like if I take a rest, and then like let's say I take a rest now, I still have to fight in Brooklyn in 2 weeks. So like I can't take a rest.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
What part of Brooklyn?
No, not Brooklyn. East Long Island. I'm a part. Like you know who Pat Shangoli is?
Heard the name.
Like I'm a part of his one of his super fights.
That's dope.
The tap something. I forgot the name of it. But I'll be in Long Island.
I fuck with Brooklyn. I like Brooklyn. I go to Manhattan or Brooklyn. That's when I go to New York, I'm either Manhattan or Brooklyn. I avoid Long Island because Long Island folks don't like the borough folks, and that's all stupid, man. It's like the North Hills people don't associate with South Hills here. It's like, well, it's all Pittsburgh, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's cool though. So like, yeah, it's like, what's important to you? Is rest important? It's a very important thing. Cool, take it. But like, you don't get to be upset about what happens in Long Island.
That is
like, it's
true.
a priority. If rest is your priority, that's cool. Like, no one's saying don't rest. Like, there's dudes. Not Jocko. Who's the dude who runs? It's slipping my mind.
David Goggins.
Dave Goggins. Dude's a fucking animal. No time for run. It's like, all right, bro. Like, that's why you're where you're at.
But
right?
I'm not like David Goggins. Like that.
I don't think most people are.
You can't be like I'm like that mentality.
Like, he's definitely someone you can pull motivation from. Like, you're never gonna build discipline with that.
Oh,
because he's just so far out. Like,
it's easier said than done.
Yeah, like when I look at that dude, and I'm pretty fucking disciplined and motivated. When I look at that dude, I'm like, bro, I tore my meniscus. I wasn't training the next day or running 100 miles.
Oh no,
he would. Like, we different. Different strokes for different folks, bro. Like, take it. All the respect to Dave Goggins, but it's in our level or where we're at. It's about priority, right? Is rest your priority? Cool, take it. But don't complain about this. If that's your priority, that you don't get the rest right now. That's your goal. True. If you apply life like that and apply your goals or whatever, it's like, this is my goal, relentless to it.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. But like, that's what I try to tell. I talk to people, and I get it. Not everyone's wired how I am, and everyone's different, and everyone's at different stages in their life. But I'm talking to people, and they're like, man, like, why? Like, let's talk. We're in a topic of jiu-jitsu. Oh, I just want to compete. I want to win. I want to go to ADCC. It's like, bro, I just saw you at the club down in bottles and fucking eating shit and skipped three days of training this week and slept in. Like, that ain't I want ADCC mentality.
Cause me, I barely even have friends. Like, honestly, it's to the point where I'm so deep into jiu-jitsu. I mean, I have like a group of friends that I talk to on a daily basis, but like, it's hard for me to have a normal conversation if it's not about jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm that deep into jiu-jitsu.
But that goes to show you, like, how far are you gonna get in that? Like, that's your goal. What do you want with jiu-jitsu? Like, what is your goal?
Like me?
Yeah.
Oh, at one point, like, hear me out. At one point, I wanted to be a world champion. I'm like, yeah, I want to be a world champion. But I found like a new goal. This was a drunk thought. I want, instead of like,
it's supposed to be sober thoughts.
I mean, no, like I was drunk when I said this, and I remembered it. So like, I said I want to be a world champion, but I found something even better. I want to beat the world champions, cause ain't nothing like anybody can be a world champion, but
it's temporary.
Yeah, it's temporary. Like it's
taking that title from people though. Ooh, I like it.
Like, I don't want to like win worlds. I want to beat the person that won worlds. Like, I want to like instead of getting to the position that Nicky Rod's at or Craig Jones at, I want to beat those dudes. Like, instead of like get like, yeah, K won $1 million. I want to beat the dude that won $1 million. Like that's the one. That's what I want. Like, I mean, I still kind of want to be a world champion, this, that, and the third, but I want to beat those dudes. That's my goal.
Dude, that's different. It's unique. It's not about a title. It's about what that brings you.
Yeah, like if I beat hopefully in the future. I mean, I don't want to match with K Rotolo right now, but if I do take that match and like, let's say I do beat him, I'm famous in the jiu-jitsu community. I'm famous. Cause like that's the dude that like submitted K Rotolo. Like I want to be known for that. I want to be known as the guy that submitted Nicky Rod. I mean, I'm probably never gonna fight those dudes, but like,
not with that attitude.
I mean, like,
Hey, we're reframing.
Yeah.
We're reframing.
one of these days I will fight Nicky Rod. That's the mentality. That's the
Bro,
mentality.
he was in Pittsburgh.
He was? Oh, 247.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
The 3v1
Oh,
back to back.
I think I was competing that the night before. I was in Twisted Church.
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, he came and competed. I think it was 8 minutes each person. He had like a couple minutes in between each person, and it was unlimited subs.
Dang.
Yeah, he was in Pittsburgh. So like,
Who else was it? Like, I heard PJ Barsh was in there too.
there was a stout dude in there, and they're gonna fucking ream me for not remembering. But I know Cody Gamble was one of the dudes in there. Yeah, I don't know who
Zach
else.
Humberson, I believe.
Might have been.
And there was somebody else from Matt Factory.
It was 3 people total, I believe. Well, not it was 3 people total. I know Cody was one of them. But it goes to show you like where his jiu-jitsu's at, right? Like you see the 3 dudes in there are good at jiu-jitsu. Like
Very good at
very
jiu-jitsu.
good at jiu-jitsu. And then Nicky Rod comes in and you're like, "Oh. Okay." But like he could have had a bad day and any one of those dudes could have submitted him one time. And you submit him one time, he submits you 50. You submitted Nicky Rod.
Literally. Nicky,
Like-
one of the best in the world.
Yeah, like that's a cool mindset cuz like when I interviewed my buddy, Fish, Mike Fisher, but we call him Fish. He's like, I'm not striving for titles and things that people give me, right? Like people want to be a partner in a business firm, right? Like that's a title you're given. People want to make CEO. That's a title you're given. People want, to be a black belt, right? In jiu-jitsu, I want to get a black belt. Like that's something you're given. He's like, he wants to focus on the experiences and moments and dude, if he puts his mind to something, he does it. Like he one day he's like, I want to run the Ironman. I want to complete the Ironman. Fucking moves down to Texas, trains for months nonstop for the Ironman, which is a triathlon. I don't know if you know what the Ironman is.
Yeah, I heard
It's a
that.
fucking, it's like a 116-mile bike, a 3-mile swim, 110 or 116-mile bike, and then a marathon, 26-something mile run, all consecutively. He's like, I want to do this. Trains for it. Does it. But while he's training down there, he's like, oh, I want to skydive. Bro gets his license to skydive. That's 25 jumps in a week while he's training for
That's savage.
the Ironman. And it's like not titles, but it's him. Like, I did this. I completed the Ironman. I am a licensed skydiver. Now he's got like 70 jumps or something. But there's like A, B, C, D license. He's got his B license. Or like, and he told me that he's like, it's not about what people give me. It's about like what I get.
Yeah.
I got to complete the Ironman.
That's crazy.
And he gets to jump out of planes. Like,
He better than me.
but for you, it's like, what's being world champion mean? It's a title you're given. Like, what does that mean? I got to beat this dude. I got to beat this dude. I got to beat this dude. Like, it's an interesting perspective of. Oh, it's cool.
I was drunk when I said that, so on my 21st birthday, I said that. I remember just shouting that out. I want to beat Nicky Rod. I want to beat Gordon Ryan.
Let's go. We'll put up 500. You put up your million, Nicky.
I put up my
$500.
dollar.
$500.
My dollar to my 50 cents to your 1 million. We can take that match.
No, that's dope. Dude, $1 million. It's like one of the top payouts for a tournament.
Not taxed at all. Untaxed.
That's $1 million, bro. Do you have any rituals or routines that you do before?
I pray. Every competition, I pray. Win, lose, or draw, I pray.
Yeah, that's huge.
I always pray for my competition. Like, I mostly pray for, like, to win, obviously, but, like, I pray for the safety of me and my opponent. Like, I pray that, like, I don't, like, accidentally hurt him. Cause, like, he has a life. I'm mostly competing against people that have, like, day jobs and stuff. Like, I don't want to, like, ruin their leg or, like, hurt them badly. Then they can't, like, perform their daily task. Like, that's something that, like, I'll probably want to be able to live with. Like, I just crippled it. I mean, he signed up for it. But, like, at the same time, like, I try, like, I crank it, but, like, I don't, like, add, like, too much braking mechanics. Because, like, people got lives. So, like, I pray for the safety of me and my opponent. I pray just to have a good time. Like, at the end of the day, like, we're grapplers, but at the same time, we're entertainers. We're there to make grappling entertaining.
No, that is huge. That's awesome. I'm a huge proponent of prayer, bro. Like, I know not a lot of listeners, believers that have different religions, but me personally, I'm a praying man. I fall asleep praying every night. You ever pray at night and you start like praying about some random stuff? Like, I'll be praying, the next thing you know, it's like, and when I get that sandwich, I'm like, sandwich? Hold on, what am I talking about right now? Like, bring it back. We're talking about safety and protection.
Yeah.
No, prayer is huge, man. And you ever read the book? Do you read? Are you a reader? Nah,
not a big.
That's all right. That's all right. You're a schooling young man. You got training. Listen to the book. Don't believe everything you think. I've been talking about that. This is the second or third time I've plugged it in. It's changed my mind, bro. It's changed my life. Talks about like not allowing the thinking that we do to distract you from the thoughts that come. So it's called Unlimited Intelligence. He talks about unlimited intelligence, God. It's most people believe in this supernatural force, right? People call it the universe. People call it God, whatever. But there's this, you can't deny there's a supernatural force, right?
There's something.
It's God to me. It's God. But it talks about how clearing your mind, like everything is going to happen. And how we perceive things is nothing but a perception, right? You go into a mat, you see this dude who's jacked. You're like, oh, this dude's stronger than me. He's going to pound me. He's going to fucking choke me. These are all things we're putting in our mind. They don't exist. Like, none of that is true until it happens. But like, at that moment, it's not true. It's things we're telling ourselves. At the end of the day, it's a guy standing on a mat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, nothing I'm telling myself is true right now. It's all things I'm making up. I'm creating it as I go.
It didn't happen.
And then that's depression, stress, anxiety. Like, that's where all this stuff stems from, because we're like creating all these scenarios and does he love me? Is he gonna leave me? Is he gonna cheat on me? Am I gonna get this promotion? Like, am I gonna win this match? I'm good in a tournament. Like, am I gonna be able to pay my bills next week? It's like, at the end of the day, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. You worrying about it is not gonna change anything.
Yeah, it is true.
Like, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. The timeline's gonna go. How do we move towards that timeline? Dude, the book was, I like listened to it on the plane ride from CJI, and I'm like, I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man. Dude, listen, whenever you're doing homework or something, put it on the background. Don't believe everything you think. It's a good book.
Gotcha. I gotta take note of that.
What are some key things you've learned from both victories and defeats? What's something that you learned, when, your last loss? How'd you take that?
My last loss, I didn't take it as hard, but like, to me, like competing means nothing. Like, winning means nothing. Losing means nothing if you can't take anything from it. Cause I know my last match, I may have won them both, but I made mistakes. Even though like I won my second match flawlessly. Like, there's some stuff I could have worked on. Like, what if there wasn't a case there? Because the only reason I got him to his back that fast because I kept using my hip pressure to keep pressure him into the cage, and he just fell down. What happens if there wasn't a case? Now I have to wrestle. Maybe it's just always something that I have to work on. Cause my first match went to decision. Me, I always go for this stuff. I hate decision. So like there's obviously some stuff I have to work on. Despite winning, despite getting the dub, there's always something I can take from a match and learn from it. Always.
Yeah, if you're not pulling anything from your wins or losses,
You got to.
Yeah, that's when you get stale, I feel like. What how do you think jiu-jitsu has contributed, like this mindset that you've developed from training and competing, how has that contributed to like your personal life?
I mean, like, it kind of like it's restored value. It kind of like installed values into me, because like, I mean, before I started jiu-jitsu, I mean, I thought like, I thought I was tough. I thought like, yeah, I'm taller than everybody. Like, no, like, yeah, I thought I was that little tough kid. But then I got humbled, and then I realized that like, shit, like, let's say I picked a fight with somebody that did jiu-jitsu before I started training. He would have fucked me up. I would have got choked. I would have died. So like, it kind of like installed like you gotta be humble. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough question though.
We don't ask easy questions.
That's a tough question. I mean, like, the number one thing like installed in me is hard work. Hard work. Like you get like what you put in is what you get out. Like there's no. I mean, unless you take steroids. Like there's no shortcuts into getting good at jiu-jitsu.
But like that's not even getting you good.
Like it's killing you basically.
Like, but like, okay, you take steroids, now you're strong. Are you good at jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, like there's still techniques to the game.
Like everyone competing at the high level is on some sort of sauce. Like, well, I don't know if Nicky Rod is, but he's competed against dudes who have been, and you see how he's done. So it's like, there are no shortcuts. And there's this dude, you ever seen the dude? I think it's like, got jiu-jitsu sign guy or something.
Oh,
he
yeah.
Always like puts a sign up.
He slides in with the glasses on. Yeah.
I think it was him who put up something that said, the mat shows your rank or something like that. It's like, and that's one thing I love about no gi, right? When you're in the gi, you see someone's rank.
Stripes,
Dude,
belt.
I'm a blue belt with no stripes. This dude's a purple belt. Oh shit. Like, or he's got this certain, he's got 3 stripes on his blue belt. I got no stripes. Like, we start to like, that starts to fuck with us, right? No-gi, unless you've looked the dude up, you don't know. Like, is this dude me? You still size him up, but you're like, all right, maybe I'm gonna go for some chokes or this. He's got long limbs. I'm gonna pull him out, Americana, Kimura. But there's no ranks. There's none of that like perception. That's why I like no-gi, because like you go in there and you're not focused on shit that don't matter. You're focused on sizing the person up. What can I do? What can I go on this dude? Like what can I take? I don't know how I got to that point, but what were we talking about?
We was talking about like, dang, what was he talking about?
He's over here looking at me like, what the fuck is this dude talking?
Yeah, I was listening. I'm like, I was trying to figure the talk with him. I think it was
mindset perception stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like with gi, like we get so focused on the mats show your rank.
Yeah.
So like you're going in there, you don't know what rank this person is. You go in there, you do very well against this person, you win, then you realize he's a brown belt. You're like, holy fuck, I just submitted a brown belt. I'm a blue belt. I just submitted a brown belt. But like, what does the brown belt mean? For different school, it's a different meaning,
Because people take that to heart when I say, like, when people say, like, belts don't matter, like, in my opinion, belts don't matter.
They
at
don't.
all.
Like, I think the only belt that matters is, like, the white belt. And it's only because of my school's thought process on, like, they don't care about belts. But belt will determine what you can do, right? So if you're a new white belt, you can't go to open mats because you don't. Because in their mindset is like you're not trained yet to defend yourself appropriately.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Or you're gonna hurt another person. You go in there with someone and you start, trying to jump guard or some crazy shit. I
hate people like that.
But like, there's people who don't understand the concept of jiu-jitsu and stuff yet. Now you throw them in open mat, they're panicking, they're doing shit you probably shouldn't be doing. So like, unless you have 3 stripes or a coach tells you, hey, you're good for open mat. Like, you're not cleared to go to open mat. Then there's, if you want to go to intermediate class, you have to have a blue belt. Or a coach tells you can. Because now it's like, oh, you can adequately defend yourself. Like now you can go in there without someone having to babysit you or worry about, oh, is this dude? No, like we've promoted him to this level. But then after that, it's like, it is what it is, right? Like you have, what are you, a blue belt?
Yeah, I'm a blue belt.
Fuck's that matter? You'd be a purple belt in other gyms, depending on how they rank up or how they, you know, like for us, like stout, if you're a cop, they won't promote you as much because your goals are different than the person who's just coming here for fun. You know, like if you're going there because it's a good thing to do one day a week or whatever, they're going to look at you differently than someone who's an active competitor, right? Like someone like Lucas trains all the time, competes all the time, fights. Like they're looking at him differently than they're looking at someone like me who's going there a couple days a week.
Cause I've been to stout like plenty of times. I've been to all the advanced classes and like usually I was surprised that cause like they all know I'm a blue belt. They all like know I compete a lot. I was surprised that like I didn't get like sent to the intermediate side.
No, but that's why they know you. They know you're.
I was shocked.
You're
I'm like,
capable.
hey,
Like, belts don't matter to them. It's more like safety and stuff like that.
Right.
Like once you reach a certain level, they're like, hey, if he wants to go with the wolves, let him go with the wolves. Like he's not gonna get hurt, and he's probably not gonna hurt anyone else. You know, because you've done this enough that you know not to just fucking throw yourself back on an armbar in training.
right.
You know, someone new may not know that. They see it on TV and UFC, and they're like, oh, fuck, boom, snap someone's arm because.
Yeah.
So belts don't matter. But what does matter is how you perform on a mat. And when I saw that sign, I'm like, that's so true. It's the same with a fight, right? Like, you know, first, what do people do in street fights? Like, growing up in street fights all the time, it's like, oh, bro, I hang with so-and-so, or I roll with so-and-so. It's like, dude, none of that matters if me and you are fighting. Like,
In the street.
Yeah. What are you bringing to this fight? Like, can you fight? Yes or no? I don't care who you roll with. Yeah, you can fucking roll up later, 20 deep. Like, the problem right now is you and me. You know? What, like, can you fight? Yes or no? And are you going to fight better than me at this point in time? Same with a tournament. You can be a blue belt and just have a better day than a brown belt. Or you can be overall better than this brown belt. The belts don't fucking matter. Rank don't matter. What are you bringing to the table? Are you going to outwork me and out jiu-jitsu me right now? Yes or no? That's what's going to determine. That's what's going to be determined in this match. So like I love people who's like, oh, I'm a purple belt.
No, that don't matter.
I've never seen you compete.
Like,
so what does that mean? You're a purple belt where? Oh, at this gym and this. So it's like I've never heard of that gym. Like
it'd be a purple belt that barely train.
they bought it off Amazon. Like, oh, you're a purple belt, self promoted. Okay, what's that mean?
Because I believe like what I honestly believe. I believe a hardworking white belt that trains consistently, competes consistently, can be a purple belt that barely trains.
Oh, for sure.
100% of the time.
For sure. You take some 10th Planet, right? You guys are recognized for being fucking savages. You take a blue belt from 10th Planet, and then you take a purple belt from, what's a small town? This isn't shots to anyone. This is theory. A small town in bumfuck Egypt who has one jiu-jitsu gym. You take their purple belt. Chances are 10th Planet's blue belt is going to beat that
for sure.
Because you guys have so many people. Your promotions are, you guys don't just promote people. You're very into this thing. This gym, blue belt started it up, trying to make money, and he's promoting everyone. Promoting himself to black belt. So it's like
self-promoting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like how much time are you putting in? How much work are you putting in? How serious are you about this? Are you training off the mats? Are you eating right? Is your mind right? You got all this working for you. You're probably going to be a good competitor. If you're doing this one day a week, and I was guilty of it. Before I got hurt, I was down to 1 day a week, bro.
Dang.
1 day a week. Life got in the way. 1 day a week. And then I'm like, you know, and then I went to a 5-day class in New Jersey. EFC, you ever heard of EFC?
Yeah, EFC.
So I did the 5-day class there. At lunch, you don't have lunch. You roll. You can pack. You can sit out if you want, but you roll for an hour. So I was rolling. I'm like, dude, like it lit a fire into me. I'm like, what if I've been missing out? Then I get hurt on the last day.
Dang.
But such is life. What advice would you give people in your shoes or started like you started? You know, jiu-jitsu's kind of like new to them, but they're looking for something else. Like, what would you tell them to like get into it and stay with it?
And my even if it's even more than jujitsu, like my advice for all the people out there struggling mentally, jujitsu wise, physically, you just gotta keep going. Like you gotta keep going. You gotta keep that motion. Like the motion does not stop. Trust me. Like times will get hard. We all been there. We all been depressed, heartbroken, stuff like that. But you just gotta power through it. Because I remember the time recently. Now I got good. Now I gotta get personal and
Let's
stuff.
go.
Man. I remember I got my heart broken bad. Like beginning of August, man. I sucked, man.
This August?
Like this August, I got my heart broken bad.
Bro, this is fresh.
Man, like I lost like the girl that I loved the most. She just issues and she didn't want to be with me anymore. And I was heartbroken. I didn't train. I didn't go to the gym. I cut myself off from everybody. I lost 20 pounds. I lost 20 pounds in like a couple weeks because I was sick. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't train for that week. I didn't train for like almost 2 weeks.
It's always a girl, man.
Man, I was sick, man. I'm like, dang, this shit sucks. But then like I just kept talking to people. I kept venting to people. That's one of the main reasons why I make these motivational videos now. Because like that shit sucked. And I want to let people know that I've been in your shoes. Like you're not alone. You're not alone. Like you just gotta keep progressing, because as soon as you stop doing the things that you love over something small, that's when like shit hits the fan and like you're back at rock bottom.
You spiral.
Yeah, like
you spiral. You can spiral up or you can spiral down.
Yeah, like then you start progressing like you start having all these negative thoughts, because I had some evil thoughts in my head at the time. I wanted to do some evil things. But like I just kept telling myself, if I did this, I'll be in somewhere a lot worse than I am now. I'll be in jail if I did this. Like, so I just kept telling myself, like, I gotta keep training. I gotta keep competing. I gotta keep myself around people. Cause like if I wasn't around, like if it got too quiet, that's when my thoughts were the loudest.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, bro. The biggest mistake you can make is closing off. And I know it's easier said than done. But I've been there, bro. Like, I'm 31. If we count street years, probably like a 50-year-old man. But, I've had my fair share of ups and downs, a lot of downs. And looking back, when I see the darkest times I've been in, I've always reacted in similar ways. I pushed people who care about me away, even recently. Like, it's like I'm not perfect, but I've even done it recently where people who care, I'll push them away, I'll shell off, and I internalize everything. And it's like, I can't deal with you guys because I'm dealing with myself. And well, myself is not good right now, right? So like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
I'm not in a good place. Why do I want to work through this myself when I have people who care about me, who are willing to talk and help? And I think as men, we do that too. We resort to shelling up. Nope, I've been hurt. Boom, steel wall. Nobody talk to me. I'm dealing with this. And then we're left with our own thoughts, which probably not the best at this moment. So when I look back and I think about that, I'm like, I've always closed off. I've always pushed everyone away, pushed things away. Like, stop going to the gym, stop training, stop doing things that I enjoy doing. But that never helps.
At all.
But I've been around the block a few times where, like, when I start to see myself doing that, I'm like, no ish, why are you doing that? That's never led you to a good place. And I'll stop mentally, and then I'll try extra, like, I've never been a dude to talk about my problems, but I'll like bring it up and see, and then I'm like, oh, good. And then one of my boys will be like, bro, like, yeah, I've noticed you've been up. And then next thing you know, we're 2-3 hours in a conversation. And I'm like, fuck, bro, I needed that. Like, I appreciate that. And they're like, why didn't you tell me about this? I'm like, I don't know. Cause that's not what I do. But like, you feel better after that.
A lot better.
And, I always tell, like, I'll give you a complete stranger to you. If you're going through something, fucking message me. Like, reach out to me. I've had people listen to a podcast and like, bro, like this episode, I had a dude, no lie, I forget which episode it was, but he messaged me. He was like, bro, I was like thinking about killing myself, and I listened to this episode and I'm like, I went and got therapy, and like I'm gonna start therapy. I'm like,
Dang.
oh, hold on, dude. Like, I can't leave you off with this. Like, dude, we're messaging for weeks. And then dude stopped messaging me. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I hope dudes are. I'm looking at his Instagram. He's like, appears happy, like posting good stuff. And I'm like, man, you know, like I reached out to him a couple months ago. This was like October of last year. Reached out to him a couple months ago, like, hey, bro, checking in. Hope all is well. He's like, oh, dude, life's great. And I'm like, oh, bro, like, but like, you never know what someone's going through. And like, I get so many DMs now. And like, it's so easy to, but I'm the dude, I'll read every fucking DM. Like, if it's negative, it's negative. I can pull something from it. If it's positive, fucking great. Like, I always tell people, let me know. Like, if you don't like a fucking episode or you didn't like something, tell me. Like, I'm not, my ego doesn't exist, especially when I care so much about this podcast. And like, I really think it could be a good thing to like uplift people's stories and tell people's stories, because someone walking next to you would never know your story.
Never know.
They just see you compete.
That's the thing that like I want to make, like that's one of the reasons I like being on this podcast, because like let's say you never see me, you see some black tall dude out there competing, killing it, and like you just see like he must have had an easy life. Nah, my life fucking sucked.
Yeah, you just channeled it.
Like fucking growing up without having parents and shit, like my life fucking sucked. But I try to disguise it because like I know how it feels like not to have anything. That's why I work hard and try to keep on a good path. So like, cause like I know how it is like to have nothing, and I don't want to ever feel like that ever again.
And you know, we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but you said you didn't have parents, and then you have your mom, is foster mom, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's been influential in your life.
Oh, like she supported me. Like my foster mom, my foster dad, my foster family, man, they supported me every step of the way.
So this is an interesting thing. Like, these people influenced you in your life, right? You're where you're at. You like where you're at in life, right? Or where you're going.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Like, where would life be if your foster family wasn't
I'd
there?
be in the street.
You know what I mean?
I'll be homeless right now.
So
if
like,
it wasn't for them.
Something I do a lot, you know, especially growing up, I'm like, man, like I didn't have the best life, right? And then I went to college and I see kids whose parents are paying for their college, or they got their car paid for. I'm like, damn, dude, I was spiteful. I'd be like, fuck, you got everything handed to you. And then I realized, like, that's just the way their cards were dealt. Like, my cards weren't dealt this way because their cards were dealt this way.
Right.
And vice versa. They didn't get the good hand because I got the bad hand. This is the one I was dealt. This is how I have to play my cards. And then growing up, like, one thing I really enjoy doing, I really enjoy talking to people and learning their stories. And I learned people who've had it, like, you know, I didn't have my dad in the picture growing up, but I had my mom. You didn't have your biological mom. You know what I mean? Or father, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm sitting here like, you know, I did have my mom. You know, thankfully, your foster family's there. But, like, there's kids who still in the foster system who don't have anyone who wants them. You know, and I start thinking about shit like that, and I'm like, you know, I didn't have it the best, but I didn't have it the worst. And it's all about how we frame where we're at and where we want to go. And, you know, I always ask the question of, like, if you can change one thing about your past, what would you change? And people are like, oh, I'd change this.
I wouldn't change a thing.
So I had someone say that to me. They're like, I wouldn't change anything because I like where I'm at and where I'm going. And if I change that, like, there's no telling where I'd be right now. And I'm like, that's so true. Like, I do enjoy where I'm at and where I'm not necessarily where I'm at, but where I'm going. And where I'm at and where I've been dictates where I'm going. And I see the next step in my life, and I'm like, that like, I like that.
Because like, yeah, like just like what you said though, like, yeah, if I can go back and change like that whole depression state, I would have changed it, but like at the same time, I wouldn't change the thing.
But you went through it and you learned through it, right?
I learned, I lived, I hurt, and I learned. And I keep moving on. Like, that was like a learning phase for me. Because if I didn't go through that, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. I'd probably be somewhere lovey-dovey. I probably wouldn't be competed. I use all that as motivation. That's why I'm hitting the gym like consistently now. Like, ever since that, like, I've been on track. I've been training harder, hitting the gym harder. I'm on creatine. Even though I don't know if they're like a legal substance or anything, but like,
bro, it's the most studied supplement ever. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Dude, back in the day, if you were on creatine, people would be like, you're on steroids? Bro, creatine is probably one of the most safest supplements you can take.
Dang, I didn't even know
Fact,
that.
yeah. And it's one of the safest, and it's one of the most studied.
I didn't even know that.
Dude, I did weeks of research and
I take it every day.
Bro, take it. Take it every day, because that's when it works best is when you take it regularly. You don't have to cycle off of it. It's not like people are like cycle. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Drink a lot of water, because you do tend to retain water. But creatine, I was on a podcast, the Above Average podcast, where we talked about creatine, and I was like, back in the day, people used to like sneak it in school, and it was like this big, because people didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And like now, dude, anyone takes creatine. It's so safe, and it's so good for you, and it's supposed to like help with like Alzheimer's and cognitive function. Like there's so much research coming out about how good creatine is for you. And I'm just like, when I hear someone like, dude, when I first got on creatine years ago, my mom was like, get that shit out of my house. I'm like, it's fucking creatine. It's like taking protein, just better. Like,
yeah.
Like if you don't understand it, creatine's safe, bro. I always end the episode with this question. Well, recently, and I want to know your answer. If you had infinite money, had already traveled the world, had no fear, received no recognition for what you do, what would you do, or what would you create?
Man, that's a man.
No thinking. Something popped into your mind. What was it?
Building a house. That was the first thing that popped in my house. Building a house and having lots of land.
Why?
Because like I want to like, instead of like buying something that's already been built, like somebody already lived there. I don't want to just replace it. I want to build something. I build that. I mean, of course I'm gonna have it built, like, but somebody pays
But
somebody to buy it.
no. Unlimited money. None of that matters. If you can do something,
I'm building a house
anything,
and having land.
build a house. That's cool. Something you did. You're living in something you created. Dude, there was this, I had a friend, well, still my friend, I haven't talked to him in years, but
Yeah.
he grew up in the house his dad built, like with his hands. And I'm like, oh, dude, you guys had like this built? He's like, no, like my dad put every lumber and every nail
Dang.
into this house. Dude, how fucking cool is that?
That's cool. You don't have to pay for that house.
It's not even
ever.
about paying. Like, think about like you're walking on the floor that you're like, his dad's still alive and well, but you know, one day he's gonna go off to a better place. You're walking on the floor that your old man knelt down and hammered
Dang,
nails
that's
into.
hard.
Dude, that shit's so cool to me.
That's hard.
You know, I'm living in a house that's probably some company built or whatever. Like, no love, no nothing. You know, like every ounce of that house he grew up in. I mean, I'm sure there was some fucks and fuck this shit. But like, it was built with the intention of his family living there
Blood, sweat,
for
and tears.
generations.
That's hard.
That's a good one. I haven't had that one yet. Build a house.
Yeah, build a house. Like,
That's
why
yours,
not?
bro.
Yeah.
I put this door here. You see that fucking window over there? I put the shit together.
Yeah, this is my house. I paid for. Like, yeah.
Then you can yell at your kid. I built this
I
house.
built this house brick by brick.
Brick.
Brick by brick.
Where can people follow you if they want to learn more about you or follow your grappling journey or whatever you're doing? Like, where can people find you?
My Instagram page, subbed by Jerry, all lowercase, SUBBED _BY JERE 10th planet. No, 10P. That's my Instagram. Just
I'm gonna link it at the end of the video because that was, or play this back because that was a mouthful.
yeah, Facebook. I mean Facebook, Instagram. I'm there. Like, ain't got any questions? I don't do private lessons, so I don't do private lessons.
Can I get your leg lock seminar?
I had people ask me like, "You come to my gym and teach this?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not. I mean, I appreciate you paying, but like, yeah, like, but like, nah, I don't do private lessons. Nah,
Not yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
But in the future, I will though.
Well, bro, I appreciate you for driving an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, and it was worth it. It was worth it.
Oh, dude, how long do you think we've been gone?
I don't even know.
Take a guess.
Like
I never put this on the air, but I'm gonna put it on the air. How long do you think we gone?
like an hour and a half.
We're pushing 2 hours. We're an hour and
Oh,
52
for 2
minutes.
hours.
It's going to be
Dang.
a lot of editing for me.
Dang. Cause I'm looking at the time. I'm like, it says 9:20, like 9:24.
But we started like at 7 something.
Dang.
Nah, it was a good conversation, bro. I appreciate you jumping on. You know, we mentioned earlier, I invite everyone to check out that Tap Cancer Out link in the Relentless Project bio on
I'm there.
Instagram.
I'm there.
Jeremiah's going to be there. I'm going to try to recruit as many of Pittsburgh's busiest grapplers, even if you're not, it doesn't matter what school you're from, doesn't matter what rank you are, doesn't matter if you've ever even done jiu-jitsu or grappled before. If it's your first time, come on in. We'll link you with someone. I got the green light from Warren Stout and the Mike Wilkins. So it's probably going to be happening at the Strip District Stout location. It's going to be December 14th. Don't really have a time yet. I think I'm going to do like an all-day thing where you just come in, grapple for an hour. We'll see what's available. Just launched the Relentless merch, bro. That's on the website.
I might have to hit you up for that. I might have.
This hat's on there. Got a couple shirts and stuff. Gonna be adding some more. If you guys watch this on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. I'm trying to build that up. You can also watch it on Spotify once I upload it. And good news, by the time this airs, I should have my own studio. Ooh!
Sick.
I couldn't wait for this episode. I wanted to put you in the studio, but I'm like, dude, we've been waiting so long to do this. So we had to do this on here. Bro, I appreciate you for jumping on the Relentless Project. You are the epitome of Relentless. You're the tagline's real people, real story, real fucking life. I was the first one to bring that up. So when you see other podcasts with that,
Copyright.
I don't want to say they ripped it.
Copyright.
But they heard it and they liked it. Bro, your story's fucking phenomenal and it's still being written. So I'm excited to kind of follow you in your journey and what you're doing. We're definitely going to have to do another one.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing I've been doing. Usually my episodes are called The One With. Like yours will be The One With Jeremiah Butler. The next time we do, it'll be another one. With Jeremiah Butler. So,
and the third one.
The third one
sick.
for sure.
That's sick.
Bro, thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate you. This is The One with Jeremiah Butler.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
I'm
sir.
out. Later.
Thank you, man. Thank you.